Hey guys, and I have another traditional knife video here, and this one's going to be on a kind of unique knife from Grayson Cutlery. This is a number 15 rope knife. This is built on a number 15 frame, which is very popular for GEC, which is the boys' knife frame. That includes different offerings that they've had, such as the Beer Scout, the Tom's Choice Barlow, and various other versions of the number 15 that have come out over the years. So it's a very popular frame. Because of the size, I think very good pocketable size. And here we go with the tube. So the Northfield Unexcelled branded knife. It's a special factory order from Charlie Campagna, 1095 carbon steel. And the etching that's on the blade, which will be a little bit easier to see here, is this diamond etching, which says Northfield Diamond Series trademark, and on the knife it says rope knife down here. So it's going to be a little bit harder to see on the etching of the blade, but I figured I'd show you that. That's what's etched on the blade. So take a look. So nice blue border to this. I really like that. The rope knife also has a story from Charlie Campagna on here, which kind of talks about the history of the idea that different sailors used to have this knife for cutting rope on ships, and so it's got a nice history behind it. Let's take a look at the top of the tube. This is where it gets kind of interesting. It doesn't want to focus there. Come on. There we go. So it's number 15. And that's not a 5, that's an S, because this is not a number 5 blade, which would be, I believe, a Skinner blade, or drop point. This is this is an S blade, a unique blade, and it's single blade, made in 2015, and the handle cover material is Cranberry Jigged bone. It's a very nice tube, like the blue border. And this also comes in the navy knife, which is the same blade shape, so it's that S blade. It still has a bail as well, but it's in GEC trim, so it's a 440C blade. But this is the rope knife, which is a special factory order from Charlie Campagna. Let's take a look. So that blade is unique. Got a little fingerprint on it. Always wiping down these GEC blades. So mirror polished for Northfield trim. But look at that. That's not quite a sheep's foot, because look at the way it drops off there. It's a little bit taller here at this end. But this is what a traditional rope knife was in the blade design. And it wasn't used for cutting rope, you know, like away from you, or like sawing rope. It was kind of like you put it down on the rope and had a wooden or rubber mallet that you would drive the knife through the rope, kind of like batoning through rope, I guess you could say. That's what it was used for, and that was the purpose of the blade design. This would still work as a neat EDC blade, and very unique in that sense, because I don't think very many people have seen such a unique design in this blade, because it's not quite a sheep's foot. It's almost like an exaggerated sheep's foot. We'll take a look at a comparison there in a little bit. But overall, you know, great knife. Really easy to pinch open because how much blade is there. Grab onto. So you have, again, the mirror polished blade. There's that Diamond Series shield etched onto the blade. You have a very long pole, which you don't really need because this is a very easy to pinch open knife, but you could use that long pole, extra long pole if you need to. Pull weight is a typical number 15, so you're looking at about a 5 or a 6 in pull. So easy to open. Cranberry Jigged bone. Let's take a look at the tang stamps here. So you have Northfield Unexcelled, made in the USA. The opposite side, GEC TIW for Titusville Ironworks 15S, then 115. This is really nice. I mean, look at the bolsters. Instead of having pinched or lined bolsters, we have a rope design. Plays into the theme of the rope knife. So that's really nice because look at it. That's a lot of work to be done trying to get that. That's really neat. Really like that design. And that carries over into the bail, which also has a rope pattern on it. Walk and talk is good. At the half stop, we are ever so slightly proud. Completely flush open, completely flush closed, and that cranberry jigged bone. It's a really nice color, that cranberry red there. And the jigging is a unique jigging because it's not uniform but not completely random. It's a nice jigging pattern. Looks very almost like natural. Yeah, and it looks almost a little bit worn, like this is a old knife, and that kind of plays into the theme of this being a very old design. So it's really, really nice. I really like this knife, and it still fits in pocket slips well. You just have the bail sticking out. Just pulled on the bail to remove the knife, but it still fits in pocket slips very well, which is really cool. Really unique knife. Let's just kind of take a look at some different knives here. Another number 15 would be the Beer Scout, and this is the number 3 blade, which is a sheep's foot. Let's just kind of look at the difference there. So that's a traditional sheep's foot from GEC, and this is the S blade on the rope knife. So you can see how the sheep's foot normally has this little curve here, drop off, but this is much more drastic at the end there. And as the sheep's foot has about the same height going all the way down the blade, the height actually gets higher here on the blade. This has a swedge here too. It's pretty nice. So it is different than a sheep's foot. This is a really unique one. I really like that. And kind of to give you an idea of the jigging, here's a Tom's Choice Barlow with more traditional jigging, more uniform. And there's some jigging on the cranberry jigged bone, which is much more random, but it's very nice. I really like the jigging on this. Just is so unique, and everything about this is just a neat little historical piece, I guess, even though it's made in 2015. So it's not that old. It's still very neat in that sense. And the bail is actually in a unique spot. So let's take a look at the bail on number 15, Beer Scout. So typically the bail on the Beer Scouts was put where the pin here would be on a number 15, kind of like this Tom's Choice Barlow. So they, instead of putting the pins through that, they put the bail through that. That's where the bail is on a Beer Scout. Now the bail on this rope knife, and as well the Navy knife, which is very similar to this except it's in the GEC trim. Well, you have the pin construction where there'd be a pin normally, and the bail is actually in a little bit higher position. So they actually put the bail in a position where they normally don't have any holes drilled for pins or anything, so that is different. Let's take a look at the bails between that. So it's a bigger piece of metal there. So the bail is bigger and it's a little bit wider as well. So it is a little different. This one is a little bit loose. That's okay though. So yeah, it's a little bit different than the Beer Scout. I'm pretty sure you could remove it if you wanted to, but I would not, because I think it just is a very nice feature to the overall design of this knife with that rope pattern. And the Navy knife in the GEC trim does not have that rope pattern or the rope design around the bolsters. So it's still nice, but it's not as fancy as this one. I really like this. You can still kind of find these on the secondary market. I don't know how many were exactly made, but this is of course a special factory order, so it is not as common as the Navy knife was, which was a fully produced GEC that was given to all the dealers. And this was a special factory order, so not as many of these probably exist. And there was a few other handle or cover options to this one. I can't remember all of them, but I think there was maybe like an autumn, or it was a darker jigged bone. So yeah, really neat knife, really unique. And as always, I think it's really nice that GEC kind of shows different history of these knives and explains kind of what they were used for. And they're kind of keeping those designs and these traditions alive in a time that we have a lot of modern folders. We're looking back at some of the folding knives that inspired things today. So you think that they didn't have very unique blade shapes back then? Well, they sure did. They were still very unique blade shapes back in the day. So that's the GEC and Northfield trim number 15 rope knife. Special factory order from Charlie Campagna. If you like this video, feel free to like and comment down below. Subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.